Okay, so Teresa, you're going to get a brief demonstration. It's good and loud and dusty. I'll see if I can cut a small piece of the of a scrap of this wood. Here we go. And I have to do it off the edge of the table. So let's see how I can do this. All right. See if you can see this as I go, and if not, you'll at least hear it, and you'll see the final piece that I cut out. So, not the best blade, but I'll do it anyway. Here we go. It goes like so. All right, I'm back. This is, these are the goggles, Marcia. So this is the piece that I just cut out of here. So with this particular blade that's in the saw tonight, I get these rough edges, but I can always spackle it and put it back together. But because it's a free moving thing, I can get really cool shapes. That's why, I love to have a shape like this one. This reminds me of a wig. Okay. So anyway, there we go. So this is a lot of what I'm working on. My ear protectors. It's not as loud as it sounds, Sue. But it is, of course, it is kind of loud. So anyway, I'm finding those two things fun. Let me talk a little bit more about this particular piece here and get a little bit closer to it. I've done a couple of things. So I start with, a background of squares and colors, shapes, sort of squares. They're angled as sort of a background, but a lot of art now, if you go to galleries, museums, or whatever, you'll see lots of mixed media. And so that's what I'm doing here. I've got an old canvas. I think I did this old painting back in San Francisco, which means that it's probably 7 or 8 years old. I was never felt it was finished. So I took it off the stretcher and I cut it into squares. And then those are little upholstery tacks on here to create it. So, hi, Carolyn. Let's see, what do I want to show you next? So these are the things. So I wanted to show this too over here because some of these, like this piece here, this long piece that's over my shoulder, I'll do a Vanna White thing. I use the same sort of background and start with the same thing. And I'm adding things like a little bit of stitching. Where's my finger? I can't see. All right, a little bit of stitching is happening in here of random pieces, although random, nothing is random. I had a student once talking about collages, and she was like, oh, collages, they're just random. Well, no, nothing is random. It's all planned out. It's all thought out. It changes perhaps as you go. You have to leave room for that sort of thing to happen as you move along with that. So I see there's a long message from Roy. Yes, Roy, I have been working large. Let's take a walk out to the gallery for a moment, and I'm going to show you some of the work. So what I'm doing in the gallery is I hear an echo. I bring in some featured artists. This is what's here now. And the work that's behind me currently is my own work. But this, I'm going to walk over here just for you, Roy. This one is the largest. It's 7 feet wide. I wanted to try an unstretched canvas. And I took a canvas, I put some hems on it, and started to paint. And then following another style. So you can see the Kandinsky influence in these works, I think. The colors are mine, though. The shapes are mine, too. This particular piece, this square one, was inspired by one of the pieces that I saw at the Palm Springs Art Museum by Lorser Feidelson. The shapes are mine, some of the colors are his. But I was really motivated by it, I really liked it. I want to show you some of the work of the other artists that are here now. This is Richard Dodds. He does digital work, and then in some of these cases, this one that you see here, it's printed on aluminum, which makes it really slick, really smooth, and bright. The colors, the rendition of the colors is bright. That's all of these, and this is some that's more photographic. Let's put it that way, because I know they're manipulated as well. Rosemary Price is in the gallery right now, and she has inspired me by her story of using art as a way of recovering from stroke. She is now, after being blessed with doing the art and learning from it, she is also teaching this to other people who are healing from major illness and debilitating illnesses like strokes. T. Santora shares the workspace with me, and he has done a series of text paintings that I think are kind of cool. Each one with different words, and I see it's backwards, of course. And Sorry Not Sorry, because this one is sold, and this one split levels. When we first moved in here, and T brought his work in, I couldn't get over how his color palette is so similar to mine. Obviously, we both made a good choice. So he's been working back here. So there's two other things that I want to show you. One is some collages. I'm working on collages that are simple paper collages. And again, they go back to the architectural style, a Bauhaus kind of style. And they are here on the wall. And basically, let me get this. I'm trying to get them behind me. These are the 3 latest ones. And I start with, they're all on paper. It's paper on paper. I'll do a couple of shapes on the paper, and then I will add pieces like this that I'll cut to size and put together, and put these together like that. And people have been very positive about these. They like them, and I love doing them. They're fun, and it's arrangement. So how is my time doing? I've talked about this being 30 minutes. So there is another thing I'm working on, which I'm going to try it this way to show you on the drawing board. So here's my origin story. I started the architecture thing on a drawing board. I'm doing a series of these, and there will be, this is one of 3 that are completed. I'm working on the 4th one, and once they're done, I'll frame them and have them in the gallery for sale. And I'm excited about these because they're colored pencil, they're basic and simple, but they're still following this original influence of mine. of things like the geometrical abstraction of Kandinsky. So these are a lot of fun for me. So I think those are the main things. So the thing that I was hoping to communicate was that, thanks T, yes, Frank Lloyd Wright is also an inspiration. These all follow, similar ideas. And for me, the thought process has to do with the juxtaposition of the shapes and colors and the materials, the textures as they come together. I hope that I bring together some things that are unexpected in the work, things that you might think don't necessarily go together. It reminds me a bit of my work in visual merchandising, where I felt that was always three-dimensional collage, and so it's kind of similar. It's similar and different, and hopefully it's evolving. Having this studio and having the gallery has been a great opportunity for me to really delve into this. I want to keep doing this as long as I keep coming up with new ways of putting things together. I want to have things that I love, colorful things. People always tell me that, and I can attribute that to one of my early interior design instructors who challenged me to work more with color. And once I did, I realized it was an awful lot of fun. And so I did that. So I'm really thrilled to see everybody's names popping up on my screen, and just listening to what I have to say. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you have enjoyed my what I've had to talk about. If there are any other questions, I would love to try and answer them. Let's walk back out into the gallery itself. I'm going to show you one more of T's pieces that a lot of people comment on. I love his use of the corrugated board and the newspapers along with the paint. A lot of people love this, and I think that's how people respond to this, because they are things that are in their normal life. So they see it, but they see it in another way. And here we are, Richard Dodd's work, spinning around. So the great parking lot, but like I said, it's ghost town out there tonight. Typically these art walks are really something. We'll get lots of people walking through here, way too many for these days, because it's more than 2. So we all continue to stay alone with that. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your comments and your watching me and staying with me throughout this talk. I will continue to do this, and I'm having a lot of fun, so I hope you are too. Here's some more stuff in the background that you haven't seen yet. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to ask me other questions, you can always send me a message on Facebook Messenger. I'm on Instagram as well, at Tim J. Leary. And that's where I often show the most recent things, because it's just so easy. So that's my story for tonight. Thanks again, and hopefully I'll talk to each one of you soon. Thanks. Good night.